Hello, Living Dead Dolls fans. This is Josh, aka Doggiepants, coming at you in partnership with Mezco Toys for another Living Dead Dolls review. So today we're going to be looking at the latest installment of the Return of the Living Dead Dolls series. That is, of course, Sin. For a lot of the collectors, she's their favorite so far. I think Damien will always be my favorite. But she is really, really incredible. She's got some interesting pieces to her that I'm excited to show all of you. So I'm just gonna jump right in. Let's get started. Sorry this is a little late. It was the holiday and yeah, sometimes little gay boys have lives. So I had to get some other stuff done, but I'm here and we're doing it. And we're taking a look at Sin. Bam, look at that. There she is in her coffin. Again, standard Return of Living Dead Dolls coffin, really nice quality, slides right off like that, closes beautifully. Has a picture of the doll in the back, has the sulfur symbol where you can just see the face poking through. Very simple. Love the new design of this, and also love that their name is right there on the front. So here she is in the coffin. We can see kind of the red fabric. It's plastic, but it looks like fabric that's got her right there nestled into it. I'm gonna take that out, and then underneath this piece, just like all the others, you're gonna see the accessories here. So I'm gonna set this off to the side, bam, and first show you that just again, like all of the other dolls, we've got instructions on how to remove their faces, change different parts of the dolls, and it is, of course, written for specifically Sin. So just like we've seen with Exorcist, Damien, all the other dolls, you've got a piece of paper with a good explanation right there in the package itself. So I'm going to take out the doll. She is a little bit harder to stand without her accessory, so I'm going to be holding her up just so you can see. But here is the beautiful, beautiful doll, just as she comes out of the coffin with her basic face plate. Well, not basic at all. We'll get to that in a second. Her hair, her outfit, and everything. So first up, I'm going to talk about her outfit because really she just has the one main dress. She does have a cape, which we'll get to in a minute. But this dress is a red velvet. It's got this really lovely collar that lays perfectly flat. I really do love how much they're leaning into the detail of these outfits and making sure that they're high quality. It does say 666 right there on the collar, which is awfully cute. It is all one piece. It does Velcro up the back. And just like the original Sin Living Dead doll, it does kind of have an opening for her tail. Now, if you want to see how her tail is attached to her body, you can see it's like a little plug that shoves right in there. And I know that in past dolls, you might be able to pull them off. I'm not going to mess with them just because I don't want to damage her. She's so incredible. But it's a pretty simple outfit, right? Really nice velvet, great quality, a little bit of a puff sleeve with a little bit of elastic here around the arms. Her socks are particularly cute. Little white socks with a red pattern right there around the edge where it folds down. And it's got like a scalloped edge, which I also think is really nice. And then, of course, her cute little standard Living Dead doll, Mary Jane's. She does have a bendable tail. So it does go from black to red, but you can kind of position it however you'd like. It's a little bit, it doesn't want to hold as much as some of the other plastic, but at the end you can really get to do whatever you need to do. Her faceplate. Come on, Living Dead dolls. How cute is this? Feels very Buffy the Vampire Slayer to me. She's got these like pursed lips, this intense brow, and then these piercing white eyes with the red around the outside. Her horns go from black to red. Now, my horn did have a little chip on it. I think it was just a slight manufacturing defect. I haven't seen other people mention it, so I think it might have just been mine. Oh, that was a bit of a bummer, but totally fine. Not that big of a deal. One other thing that I love about this faceplate is she's got pointed ears. She's like a little demon elf gal. Not many people are talking about that. Now, with her wig, there were a few pieces that kind of hung around that you could kind of wrap around the horn and then wrap around her ear. I didn't love the way that it looked, so I just pulled it all behind her horn, and I think it's a little bit stronger of a look. The hair I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. All of the doll's hair, they've been really, really great. For some reason, this one, it's very thin. I don't know if they're doing like a different manufacturing style or if that is something that they were going with just to try to make the hair fit with the horns a little bit better. No major bald spots, which is nice, but I was a little disappointed by the thickness of the hair, especially because Sadie's hair was so plush and thick. Exorcist, even Damien. So to see this was a bit of a bummer. She does have a slight curl in the hair. Maybe that's another reason. It's just a different type of hair that they're going for, as opposed to the bone straight that we saw on Sadie. But again, still looks great. She looks adorable with that hair. Only one hair with this doll, but 2 elaborate face plates, which we'll get to. So let's start taking a look at some of these accessories. I'm going to set her off to the side here and open this puppy up. Bam! So we've got quite a bit going on here. So the big one that is probably going to want to have the most attention is, of course, the new faceplate here, which is really demonic. I know a lot of people are loving displaying her with this. And all of this detail on the face is part of the mold. This is not just painted on. It's a really great mold. Again, kind of an intense, almost Buffy the Vampire Slayer brow going on there, but we've got that same black shading that's around her eyes on this one here, but it goes into this really demonic mouth with these intense, grotesque teeth. Again, we've got the elf ears, and these horns are a lot more elaborate, but they are all black as opposed to the black to the red. What's great about these horns too is that we've got a fiery crown. This is a solid plastic piece, right? There's no bend to it, but it's a beautiful mold. It goes from orange to yellow. And that piece, it doesn't click anywhere, but it does fit nicely in this face mold. You can just kind of put it right in there and it's not gonna go anywhere. Well, don't shake it too hard, I guess, but it's not gonna fall out. It stays pretty nicely. Boom. So you can really have this kind of demon possession thing going on, which I love. So along with that, we've got her iconic pitchfork. This is really great because if you put the like holding hand on for her and she has this, you can utilize it to stabilize her a little bit more. So it gives her kind of a third, her 2 legs and then this, which will help her stand nicely on a shelf if you don't want to use a doll stand. But the quality of this, again, is beautiful. The plastic is nice. We've got black tips, the red. We've got these gold rings around the bottom there. And then again, this points at the end have a little bit of airbrushing that goes to a darker red as well. Really nice quality piece. We've got another set of eyeballs. And what you probably, if you don't have these dolls, you may not notice is that the red eyeballs actually have a slight circle, kind of where the pupil would be. And it's true of the ones that have white eyes too. To just kind of, if you look closely, you can see that they are eyes, not just red balls, which is a nice little detail. We're gonna put that on. And then there's 2 additional sets of hands. We've got these like, demonic kind of horn hands going on for both hands, which I love. And then of course the gripping hands, which many of them come with, and that's so she's able to hold her pitchfork. Now all of her hands do have red, let me try to, there we go, red fingernail polish, which is a nice little detail. But underneath this section, which again, just like all the other dolls, there's actually another bit of plastic underneath, which you can pull out, and you get the last 2 accessories. So first up is her cape. This is a little hard to tie on, so bear with me here. I'm just gonna kind of try to tie it once. Boom, boom, boom. We tie it around her neck so you can kind of see it on. There we go. It's a beautiful cape. It has metal around the outside, so you can bend it and position it however you'd like, which is really nice. And that same detail is around the collar as well. So you can really get this in the position that you'd like. The cape has some nice detail with some like ruching, is that what you would call that, around the back there. And the material is kind of a satiny thin cotton, so it does flow nicely as well in the wind. But it looks great with the rest of her outfit, especially if you want to put on the like really evil mask, which we're going to do in just a second. But that is the cape. And then of course we've got her little demonic circle, I guess, how you summon a demon, which is really freaking cute. This plastic is a lot more pliable. It is yellow around the edges, which is kind of like a flame. We've got the, what is that, the star, pentagon, in the center there, that's orange with red. And this has a nice grip to it. So if it's sitting on the table, it's not going anywhere, right? It's really locking it into place. So she's nice and safe. The only thing I do find a bit of a bummer about this one is they've hid the death certificate really nicely in some of the other dolls. This one was just behind this circle in the plastic. So, you know, Exorcist, it was in her bunny Easter basket. I mean, Sadie, it was like a hidden compartment in that grave, which I loved. But this one's just kind of included on the side. And there it is. You're welcome to pause it if you want to read it. But great drawing of this new version of Sin. And then, of course, her death certificate. So let's take a moment and swap out some of her face plates, shall we? I just want to make sure I get this back in. There we go. Let's do it. So how you take this off. Again, I've shown this on many of the other tutorials, but you can just take her hair, pop it. For the most part, it comes straight up like that. You can take that off. Here she is without it. And then you can just grip the doll, grab it behind the ears, pull it straight forward, and you'll be able to take it off. In there, that's where her eyeballs lock into place. This little black piece pops right off, and that is where the eyeballs go. So for this black piece, you'll see that one little lip on the bottom is longer than the other one. That longer one is for the top. And a lot of people that are struggling to get the eyes back in place, that's why. So again, you can just take out the eyeballs, put in the new ones. We're gonna take her new faceplate, pop those into place, push it to kind of secure it. Now you can move the eyes so that they look the way you want them to, but you just gotta make sure that that black piece stays really attached there when you're putting it back onto the body. Because if it's even slightly off, it's really hard to get it back to where you want it. Again, when you're putting these new faceplates on, really take a close look at the edges by the ears. If they're not perfectly aligned, you're not gonna be able to get that hair back on. It's gonna wanna just fall right off. The hair has two little clips, boom, 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 little plastic pieces, and they just slide into place, and you can just pop it right back. So here we go. I'm gonna put the little fiery crown right here as well. And you can see the new version of her with this updated faceplate, which is really freaking cool. Again, we'll have her standing on her stand. She's summoned, and she is the demon ready to grant your wishes while you sell your soul to the devil. Yeah. Good job, Sin. But here she is. That is Sin, the latest Living Dead doll from the Return of Living Dead doll series. And I love her. She's going on display, and I am going to be keeping her in my permanent collection. Again, we have Posey coming out in, technically she could ship anywhere between next month and I think like June or July. So fingers crossed we get her on the earlier side, but I don't know, probably she won't come until summer. And then that's it for right now. I'm really, really hoping, fingers crossed, that we get some more of these dolls because they're really cool. They're really great quality. I would love to see a Penny or like an Abigail Crane or something like that. Something that is a old school exclusive, but would be a really cool addition to this line because I love them and I want them to keep going. So please get out and buy these dolls. They're fantastic. She's gorgeous. Wonderful design. Really, really good job on the next iteration of Sin. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're doing well and take care. Bye.